All right, Giants Nation, welcome to the Shit That New York Giants Fans Say, episode 8. If you want to go back and watch the other ones, just click the playlist at the end of the video. So, you're probably looking at this photo and maybe you're already laughing, but it's really not that funny. He's just saying that he hopes that Malik Neighbors can be as impactful as Devontae Adams. But, I mean, it's year one, and the quarterback is still Daniel Jones, and so I get the pushback on this, but the glazing from the other two commenters was crazy to me. Like, I don't understand why Giants fans do this shit. I get it. If you want to glaze a quarterback that can be in the top 10, I can respect that. But when you're glazing Jimmy G and Derek Carr, I don't respect it. First of all, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, Jimmy G is the most overrated quarterback of the century. I can't think of another quarterback that has been more overrated than him. Because at the end of the day, Jimmy G, he's not going to have that much success if he didn't play for the 49ers. Giants fans have a really hard time understanding that, yes, you can have a quarterback that needs to be upgraded, but your team can still be good. I'm going to say it again. Giants fans have a hard time understanding that your team can be good, but you need an upgrade at quarterback. And so at no point in the Daniel Jones era has the Giants ever been good, and Daniel Jones was the reason why they couldn't get to the next level. No point. So when you look at the 49ers and you look at the Jimmy G situation, they moved on from Jimmy G because he wasn't enough, and also he couldn't stay healthy. So to glaze him and say he's 100x better than Daniel Jones is crazy to me, because again, I don't understand the hype with Jimmy G. Most of the success with the 49ers, in my opinion, even with Purdy, is because of the 49ers coaching and overall team. They're a great team, and they have a top 2 coach, in my opinion. Maybe 3. And that system, a lot of quarterbacks would do well in that system. I don't know if Daniel Jones would do good in that system, but, I think Nick Wright was saying that the other Jones would do well. And to be honest, it's possible. A lot of times we try to say, well, Purdy's he's not one of a kind. Like, there are other quarterbacks that could do well with the 49ers, bro. The 49ers offense is, I'm not going to say it's easy. Obviously, Trey Lance couldn't figure it out. They traded Trey Lance for a reason. But it ain't like, you could put Purdy on any other team and he would just ball out. You can't put him on last year's Giants and then all of a sudden you win more games. It just doesn't work like that, especially without Barkley last season. And so I don't understand the glazing of Jimmy G. I get Derek Carr. Derek Carr, if I'm correct, hasn't won a playoff game ever. However, he is better than Daniel Jones. I feel like if you put him on last year's Giants, he would be hurt. Like, it wouldn't be a matter of, he'd win more games. That motherfucker would be hurt because he stays in the pocket that wouldn't exist a lot of the time. So he would be hurt. And so, but I respect that, though. Like, Derek Carr is better than Daniel Jones, but I'm not glazing Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm glazing a top 10 quarterback if I have to glaze another quarterback that doesn't play for the Giants. Like, Giants fans, y'all need to do better. I understand that you have an obsession with Daniel Jones and you just want him off your team, but you can't just be glazing random ass quarterbacks, bro. At least glaze a top 10 quarterback. And when I say glaze, I mean dick ride or pretend to be a fan of, because a lot of y'all don't even watch these other quarterbacks. You're just upset that you're stuck with Daniel Jones for 1 year, which is why I have the big baby crying at the bottom left side, because there's a segment of the fan base that's just still crying about not drafting a quarterback. Okay, so this next comment right here is just disappointing to me, because at the end of the day, most of us are adults. Most of the guys making these comments are adults. They're not teenagers. They're grown-ass men. And y'all are struggling to understand that we don't control when the Giants replace the quarterback. But my guy says that there will be broken hearts in 2025 when the new arm takes over and that people are still reliving the 2022 year. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, no, that's not the issue. I think adults realize that we can't get rid of Daniel Jones this year because of the dead cap situation. And so they're fine with him playing one more year or not playing one more year. It's really not up to them. Once you're an adult, you figure out that, hey, I don't like this particular situation, but I can't do nothing about it. So let's just hope for the best. And I think that's what most of the fan base is doing. Most of the fan base aren't Daniel Jones fans from Duke. That's how you guys are acting. You guys are acting as if there are fans that came over from Duke that are just Daniel Jones fans. No, there are Giants fans who are okay with Daniel Jones being the quarterback, or they've accepted that he's the quarterback and he may play the entire season next year or part of the season. That's what adults do. But we do have some toddlers, like you see them in the bottom section of this video here. This is what they look like, that they're just stuck on Daniel Jones and they just keep dragging this dude as if we didn't pay him and keep him here. We could have let him walk. We did not let him walk. Be mad at Giants management for not cutting the umbilical cord for Daniel Jones. Don't be mad at Daniel Jones because the team that you're rooting for wants him here. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but ain't nobody going to be upset in 2025 if he plays bad, or if the team is just bad overall, because it's probably not just going to be on Daniel Jones. It's also going to be on the team. You're getting a top 3 quarterback that's probably going to be better than J.J. McCarthy. And so why would anybody be upset? They're actually Giants fans. They're not paying attention to Daniel Jones. I don't know how you can call yourself a true Giant fan and you can't accept the fact that you have to wait until Daniel Jones is gone from the management accepting that, okay, this is the time has come. I get it. You might feel like it's long overdue. That's on you. Why didn't you just become the Giants GM? Why didn't you be better in life? Why didn't you just, work your way up into Joe's job and, cut Daniel Jones for us? Why didn't you spare us the years of Daniel Jones? Why are you sitting in the stands talking shit? So this next take is actually from a YouTuber who does NFL content. I can't call her a casual fan because the crazy thing about people who are obsessed with replacing Daniel Jones is not that they're casual NFL fans or casual New York Giants fan. They let their emotions take over instead of using logic. You can't replace Daniel Jones this season because you can't cut Daniel Jones. You can cut Daniel Jones next season, eat the $22 million in the dead cap. And the season after that, it's 11. But we're assuming he's going to get cut next year. You guys are crying about drafting quarterbacks who aren't going to start for the teams that they're drafted to, and they're in better situations than what we got going on with the New York Giants. The Patriots are apparently not going to start Drake May, who's the guy we wanted. J.J. McCarthy might not even start. They might actually start Sam Darnold and, see how that goes, because they actually have really good weapons. Apparently, we're using the term weapons loosely, so I guess Wandell and Hyde are weapons. They're just not good weapons. They're okay weapons. But with Neighbors is not a weapon. He's a nuclear weapon. That's what Saquon Barkley was for us. That's how we were winning games with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. They didn't do anything crazy in terms of them versus Daniel Jones. They just had a healthy Saquon Barkley. So you replace Saquon Barkley with a wide receiver in Neighbors, and you try to keep him healthy and see how it positively affects the other 2 or 3 wide receivers, because he's that good. Drafting Neighbors is us finally replacing Odell. Did you forget that we never replaced Odell and we decided to draft a quarterback that everybody says, hey, you shouldn't have drafted him there, and you flamed out at wide receiver? You were never able to replace Odell Beckham. Golden Tate retired and played baseball. Loves Daniel Jones. Not Daniel Jones' fault. Kenny Galladay hated Jason Garrett. It's crazy that somebody on the forums had to point it out for somebody who's a content creator, but maybe because you're so focused on the other NFL teams, you don't realize that Kenny Galladay's beef was never with Daniel Jones. He didn't do anything to Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay hated the organization. He hated Jason Garrett. He hated that bum-ass coach that we hired, which was Joe Judge. Daniel Jones, even if Daniel Jones was a better quarterback, Joe Judge was still an ass coach. So the Giants were not going anywhere with Joe Judge. We did some terrible hiring. I don't know why we hired Jason Garrett. And that was the biggest issue that Kenny Galladay had with us, and I'm glad somebody was able to point it out, because I see so many content creators saying stupid shit, or just fans in general saying that this wide receiver didn't work out because of Daniel Jones. No, it didn't work out because we either A, signed the wrong dude, or we drafted somebody trash like the Joker, who didn't work out with Patrick Mahomes. It's not working out. Even Richie James couldn't even get any PT. And that was the borderline wide receiver 1 in 2022. So what are Giants fans saying, and what is this obsession with JJ McCarthy? What did you see at the previous level with JJ McCarthy throwing wise that made you want to draft JJ McCarthy? Because I don't even know if Minnesota's going to start him. So what is the obsession with JJ McCarthy? There's no reason why we need to draft JJ McCarthy over Neighbors, considering the current group of wide receivers that were on the roster prior to Neighbors. Like, it just doesn't make sense.